Hello, YouTube. This is Augustus Larch. I have to make a commentary on. It's going to be the 4th of July. And every 4th of July, I get really upset with my government. Because this country wasn't born on the 4th of July. The nation wasn't born on the 4th of July. Only the government was born on the 4th of July. And the government hasn't been doing too hot. Oh, let's recount what the government's been up to. Okay. They run for a couple of years on one government, and then they find out, well, this doesn't centralize power enough. We got this elite that we designed the government. We're the founding fathers. We want our hand at the wheel. And let's draw up this vague document that everybody can agree on called the Constitution. Of the people that didn't like the Constitution, Ben Franklin said it wasn't that great. Thomas Jefferson didn't really like it. Andrew Jackson didn't really like it either. And look what it's done. Okay, a black person is 2/3 of a person. It's still in there. And the policies they go to. Okay, we kicked out a colonial power, and then all of a sudden, America's the colonial power. The United States turns right into, like with the Spanish-American War, the Mexican-American War. Let's see if we can draw in a bunch of protectorates. We'll call them protectorates. They're not colonies. Protectorates. Oh, we got this indigenous population. Instead of letting them have that, what we perceive as a wasteland, why not let's murder them, the whole nation of them, en masse, or at least try. Just horrible, horrible, horrible. And they're still downtrodden, and people are saying, oh man, that happened years ago, there's no cowboys and Indians time. Yeah, it is. People are still kind of cowboys. They kind of have disregard. You cripple an entire population, and then you scoff at them when they don't assimilate as well as you'd like them to. It's pretty provincial and pretty prideful on account of the establishment in this country. And people have to throw around establishment like it's some kind of big evil thing. It's out there. I've seen it. It's in my town. These people call themselves Christian, and then they turn around and make fun of ugly people and developmentally disabled people, having a good guffaw, because they're always forgiven anyway. Christians. What a schism they have in their moral perception, their moral attitudes. They're not moral people, they're amoral. I have relatives that are the most amoral people you have, but they're devout Christians. They'll show up in church on Sunday, make a good appearance of it all, make sure their sins are forgiven. They're into that. They can do whatever they want. They can be any kind of person they want during the week, as long as they show up and put money in that collection plate and get their sins forgiven. It's pretty sad. And again, on this Casey Anthony trial, who the heck is directing the news? There's murders and deaths all over the place, and then they just jump on this one thing and ride it until it's dead. It's like a necrophiliac digging up, just riding the bones until the bones start to smell a little ripe, on this freaking Casey Anthony story. Could I care? It's reminiscent of the last bullshit story that I think it was that killed I can't even remember now. They don't even compile them so you can compare the one to the other one. I don't even have a television. Television destroyed my childhood, so anyway. But the thing about it is, this government is a puppet show. And if you hear that Lee Greenwood song again, I'm gonna lose it with a real spiel of Tourette's syndrome laden speech, just at the wall or wherever it is, just to vent a little bit, to get it out of my beans when I'm bouncing around. Lee Greenwood. At least that we know I'm free. At least, so he's on this kind of like, well, we're on a justification aspect. It's a stopgap measure. We know things are kind of going crappy, but at least I know I'm free. No, you aren't. People are wiretapping your phones. We go over and try to help this nation building in a civilized Afghanistan. What do? We send out the word that we're going to grab random people with very little evidence and send them over to Guantanamo Bay and hold them without trial and violently interrogate them. Yeah, and Bradley Manning too, the guy who kind of blows the whistle on all why the war is being lost over there. Watch us, the biggest, most powerful industrial country in the world with the strongest military on paper. Watch us get our butt handed to us in a third world country about a fraction of the size of us. You know why? Because there's a bunch of barbarian rednecks running around over there, acting like barbarian rednecks, and that's what happens. What if somebody come around from another country and walked around like they own the place, taught your children how to swear, taught them how to sing "I love pork"? Throw random hand grenades at their sheep, throw their puppies off cliffs, have pretty horrible weapons discipline. Oh man, I'm a little scared. Somebody ambushed us, so I'm going to shoot up this section of town, even though the people are totally unrelated to the incident I was at earlier. Yeah, okay. This is the United States of America. At least I know I'm free. Land of the free, the home of the brave. Let me ask you something. What is brave about going to a third world country, shooting up the place, acting like a god, and then after you drop a bunch of ordnance and screw up a bunch of people and poison the water, you just take off home? Oh, my tour is over. Well, what a brave person you are. And free. You got more people per capita in prison than any other country in the world. Any other country in the world. Look that up. And per capita is Latin, if you don't know. That means per person. Person-wise, proportional to our population, there's more people incarcerated in this country than any other country in the world. Oh, that's the land of the free, isn't it? And most of it's due to this drug war. That all started with, oh, my name is DuPont, and my name is William Randolph Hearst, and we're going to get together and corner the paper market and invent this new thing called cellulose pulp. We're going to raise the unit cost of paper and destroy all other competitors, little hemp paper and the hemp, and then we'll destroy a whole industry. Forget the paper. Yeah, it takes 18 acres of trees to equal 1 acre of byproduct hemp. They make clothing and rope and everything else, and the little fibers that are too short from 1 acre makes enough paper as 18 acres of trees that they have to burn diesel. They have to haul it out of the woods, haul it down the highway, bring it to a big old factory that they got to heat and send electricity to, and then they got to buy a bunch of additional chemicals and mix it all together and create a bunch of toxic waste that it's a cost to get rid of and process, and all so they can offer you a piece of white paper made out of wood. That's what our country's all about, because our government is a puppet show. All they really know how to do is get elected. Look what's been happening. I mean, if you want evidence, watch the news as long as you can stand. As long as they don't mention that Casey Anthony trial. Like I care. You know what happened last year? You know what a better story? Some parents let their 5-year-old kid drive their foiler around the yard. And what they ended up doing, this happened in Roseau County. He was running around and he hit the crossing too hard, fell off the 3-wheeler, and the 3-wheeler rolled and landed on top of the kid, and he died from it. Shouldn't there have been some kind of criminal trial about that? Child neglect or not watching your kid or something? No, there's stuff like happens every day, and it never gets on the news. This Casey Anthony thing, our government, everywhere, state governments, national governments, are going down the tubes, and they're going to drag up anything to distract you from it. any damn thing they can think of, including this who didn't murder her kid. She just didn't report it. The kid drowned in the pool and she didn't report it. And they spend every waking moment of the news time. Like, is it valuable? Probably not. Is it valuable to distract you? Yes. So, that's something for you to consider. Gouging our gas prices. I mean, the government isn't even doing what they're supposed to do. You know why? Because they work for lobbyists and the banks. This ain't no democracy. It's a representative republic. And you know who it's representing? The oligarchy. This is Augustus Large. Things for you to consider.